More than 200 people are thought to have been taken to Gaza after Hamas attack on Israel on October 7. Qatar's Prime Minister, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, said only minor difficulties remained in reaching a deal to release some of the more than 200 people taken captive in Gaza after Hamas attack on Israel last month. Sheikh Mohammed, a former foreign minister, gave few additional details or timelines. The challenges that remain in the negotiations are very small compared to the bigger challenges. They are more logistical. They are more practical, he said, to a joint press conference with European Union Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell. Qatar is acting as an intermediary negotiations to release those captured in Hamas' surprise attack on Israel on October 7, which at least 1,200 people were killed. After attack, Israel launched a brutal air and ground campaign in the besieged Gaza Strip, in densely populated area to destroy Hamas. Borrell, who will meet Emir in Qatar before traveling to Jordan, called for the unconditional release of all captives and condemned Hamas for attack. There is no hierarchy among fears. One fear does not justify another, he said. News agency reported on November 15 that Qatari mediators were seeking an agreement between Israel and Hamas to exchange 50 captives in exchange for a 3-day ceasefire that would help increase emergency aid shipments to Gaza civilians. At time, officials said general outlines had been agreed but Israel was still negotiating details. On Saturday, Washington Post reported that a tentative agreement had been reached to release women and children among the captives in exchange for a pause in fighting. Citing unnamed sources, the newspaper said all parties would cease combat operations for at least 5 days and the captives would be released in small groups. The U.S. newspaper's report was rejected by the White House, which said discussions about a deal were ongoing. On Sunday, United States President Joe Biden told reporters he was not in a position to say when the captives might be released. Sheikh Mohammed said on Sunday that such reports were unproductive and that the negotiation process had gone through ups and downs. I think I am more confident that we're close enough to an agreement that can bring people back home safely, he said. Talks continue as Israel prepares to expand its ground offensive against Hamas into the southern half of Gaza. Be careful as the United States, Israel's main ally, struggles to find Gaza's 2.3 million people safe to stay out of the line of fire. The civilian death toll in Gaza is staggering and unacceptable, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said on Sunday, as he renewed his appeal for a humanitarian ceasefire. Israel has so far rejected all calls for a ceasefire.